You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Although Hidden Traps is not officially released until August 1st, you can pre-order your paperback or ebook copy now from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Hey, y'all, it's Jenny Earhart from the Southern Sisters Radio Show. Have you checked out our website, southernsistershome.com? We have the most gorgeous array of gourmet flour sack towels. They will look fabulous in your kitchen, and they're complete with all sorts of Southern sayings, designs. Go to our website and check us out, southernsistershome.com, and guess what? We have a promo going on right now. 30% off your order. Just put in promo code SISTERS at checkout. Also, free shipping on all U.S. orders.
Saturday. Less music, more talk, guaranteed every Saturday here on The Answer.
If you'd like to book us for your bar mitzvah, go to GwinnettGobblers.com, fill out the form, and we'll get back to you.
Slide into Griffin's DMs gently.
Please do it publicly.
Do it publicly. Out in the open. Out in the open.
At me. GwinnettGobblers.com.
At Radio Griff.
We'll perform at your bar mitzvah. That's all we sing, though. We just sing the day of the week.
Yeah, that's it, the whole time. But people never get sick of it. They enjoy it. They're laughing the whole time.
And then we leave.
They're laughing with us, not at us, I hope. But we're getting paid. I don't really care what they say, right?
It's bar mitzvah.
It's a... Oy vey!
What?
You want to spin the old 39-pound topic wheel?
That's what we do here.
Let's do it! Peach Cheerios. Delicious. If you haven't tried them, folks, I highly recommend Peach Cheerios. Howard University riots. Golf. I am not the golfer. I do own plaid pants and a fat butt, but there apparently are some banned phrases at the Masters, and you have the list.
I do. I have exclusive access that I found on Twitter of this list.
So is it exclusive if it's on Twitter?
It's exclusive to my eyes at this moment.
Right on.
Yeah, so the Masters are going on right now in Augusta. I think it's supposed to rain today. Is it raining? The window's blocked. I can't see outside if it's raining right now or not.
We close the curtains.
There's certain phrases that are banned. Augusta National is very hoity-toity. I mean, I think just like a year ago they let in women, right? Seriously, not even a joke. Recently, in the past decade or two, I feel like minorities are just allowed to become members. I don't think that was a thing up until fairly within our lifetime.
No, this isn't a joke.
It's not a
legit
joke. It sounds like a joke, but yeah, so they still have their hoity-toityness now that they can't, exert it up on human beings any longer. They've taken it to words. There's certain words they don't want fans screaming out. Tigers hitting the ball, and people say, "Yeah, get it,
get in the hole,
get in the hole,
right.
Get in the hole." That's the one I was going for. Right?
Is that on the list?
I don't believe get in the hole is. I think you can say get in the hole. But the big one of the moment, the one that's got the most headlines that you can't say is based off the Bud Light commercial that's going on, the beer commercial. Sorry, I don't want to give any sponsor mentions here. Dilly Dilly.
I would feel free to give sponsor mentions if it was good beer. But Bud Light is awful. It's god-awful. The only redemptive value is Bud Light Lime. And even then, it's decent.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's after you've had several of good beers and you're already wasted, Bud Light Lime is a nice go-to. It's cheaper.
There you go. Makes sense. So when you hit the ball, like you said, people want to say get in the hole. They feel like people might want to this year say dilly dilly, but they say dilly dilly not allowed. You'll be kicked out of the Masters if you say dilly dilly.
Well, dilly dilly, as you know, has been a cult phrase as of late.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. Especially amongst the bro crowd, people a little younger than us, big into the dilly dilly.
I think it's because of the popularity and fascination with Game of Thrones, right? We're bringing back that King James culture, but this guy, King John Barley the Fourth.
And Bud Light, or via this King Barley, they responded, right?
They did on parchment paper, and I have the exclusive to me.
Heard here first.
He slid into my DMs gently and told me about this letter. The king weighs in on the Dilly Dilly ban. Hear ye, hear ye! Your king hath received word that the gods of the green jacket plan to escort any patron who dare utter Dilly Dilly off yon premises. Except for myself, I am against tyranny in all forms. So, I have instructed my royal tailors to make 1,000 Dilly Dilly shirts that shall be delivered to Georgia in time for the festivities. For if thou cannot say Dilly Dilly, thou can still wear Dilly Dilly. Yours in friendship and beer, King John Barley IV. It's official.
This segment not brought to you by Bud Light. Even though it sounds like a embedded ad here, doesn't it?
But hey, if you're listening and you want to throw us a couple bucks or beers, we'll be happy to drink them and spend them.
So Dilly Dilly not allowed, and there's a whole list. The list came out, initially earlier in the week it was just Dilly Dilly. That was, the word on the street. Now the whole list has come out of phrases. Some of these I don't get.
Fill us in, baby.
First off, there's Baba Booey, which is from Howard Stern's show. Fans like to shout Baba Booey often. I get that one. But the next one on the list, mashed potatoes. Like when someone hits the ball, you can't yell, mashed potatoes! I'm missing that reference. Maybe I'm too old to get it.
I think it's a starch-free zone.
Starch-free zone. Mm-hmm. Except for the pants. Pants have to be starched.
Super starched, especially in the crotch area.
Right.
They're looking very starched.
Especially at Augusta National. You demand? You can't say you demand?
It's gender exclusive. We want to be gender inclusive like we are here in Wen's World.
That's true.
We're a bunch of theys here.
You the person.
They the person. They the people.
We are people.
We don't want to say we either because it implies that we're two.
What about is saying the word people inclusive enough?
I think right now it's a safe go-to.
Is it? For now.
As of Saturday.
In 2018 on this Saturday, yes. It's okay.
Could be different
tomorrow,
next week.
Right, yeah. Here's one. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Sweep the leg. Isn't that from Karate Kid?
Karate Kid, I feel like. That was before my time, but I kind of do know that. Free Meek. You can't yell Free Meek. I believe that's talking about a rapper from your hometown of Philadelphia.
That's right. Free Meek. Hashtag Free Meek.
Meek Mill. Here's one from Toy Story. To infinity and beyond. Beyond.
You know, you
can't say that.
A whole lot of innuendos in Disney movies. I don't know if anybody has ever looked at the covers of the old VHSs, but word on the street is that... Are
you a Disney truther?
I'm a Disney truther. There is some satanic stuff going on down there.
Satanic?
Oh, yeah. Luciferians, I'm telling you. But
that's not inclusive.
The story that's evident for anybody to see is that every cover of a Disney movie has a phallic symbol on it. It's just hidden.
Really?
Some are bigger than others, obviously, but there's a phallic symbol on every Disney cover. Go to your local thrift shop and look at the kids' movie section and look on every Disney cover, i.e. The Little Mermaid.
Really?
Now, don't listen to me.
I don't
see for yourself.
I'll let you look into that. Some more banned words at the Masters. Here's an odd one. Jimmy Carter eats peanuts.
Isn't he allergic? Isn't everybody allergic to peanuts?
He was a peanut farmer before he was president.
He invented the allergies. I'm a Jimmy Carter truther. He was the worst president, and he's responsible for all peanut allergies.
Because you think about it, were there peanut allergies before Jimmy Carter?
He has stock in the EpiPen.
All the millennials these days have peanut allergies, and it's because of Jimmy Carter.
That's right.
Wow.
Yep. I love the old Fourth Ward. It's revitalized. Now buy a home here. Everything will change if you spend money in the old Fourth Ward.
Yeah, you can get a house there now for the great price of about $750,000 or so.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
You buy as many peanuts as you want.
R.I.P. Harambe. Can't be said at Augusta National.
Well, we don't value the lives of deceased animals for sure.
You can't yell bikini wax.
I can kind of see how that could be distracting.
Tiger hits the ball. Bikini wax! I think these golfers and all these hoity-toity Augusta National folks are just too uptight. Let's chill out. Let people have fun.
You know, I thought that way yesterday, but today...
Today, you're a new man.
I'm a new man. It's a new day here in Wen's World, and I feel like golf should be the last preserved sport.
Oh, my.
We need more mint juleps.
They got tennis. My goodness. Banned phrases at Augusta National Golf Club. Insert band name here should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Weird Al Yankovic should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's so subjective, right?
That's a lot to say if someone hits the ball, right?
Well, after they hit it, does it matter? This isn't in their stroke, right? This is after the stroke. Or is this before?
Well, that's what I was asking. So, dilly dilly is something you would shout as they hit the ball, like, get in the hole!
Right.
Dilly dilly!
Yeah.
Now, if you and I are at Augusta National just having a conversation before a guy tees off, we're just sitting there talking, and Billy Payne, the guy in charge of Augusta National...
Was he the dancing kid?
No, Billy Payne, I believe he's the one who brought the Olympics to Atlanta.
Oh.
And then suddenly became like chairman at Augusta National.
R.I.P. Richard Jewell.
Richard Jewell, that's a throwback.
Man, I'll tell you what. Can we sidebar for a second
I
here?
thought he did it. When I was 8 years old when that happened.
Of course you did, because the media said he did it.
I believe the media.
That poor bastard, man.
And then he was on Oprah.
That's why the retractions never work. Once it's out there, it's out. What's said is said.
It ruined his life.
It ruined his life.
Because you and I still associate him with the Olympic bombing.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Pressure cookers,
Yeah,
Richard Jewell.
You don't trust him.
Yeah, I don't.
And it happened to be Eric Rudolph.
And it happened to
So
be
they say.
Eric Rudolph. So they say.
You remember that? Like my whole childhood, Eric Rudolph was like on the run.
Yeah.
That seemed like it lasted my whole childhood.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like, I turned a teenager, and Eric
catch
Rudolph's
him.
found outside of Asheville or something,
cabin.
up in the mountains or something. Yeah, that's odd.
That's where I would hide.
That, like in the 90s, that was like a thing, man. Unabomber,
Yep.
Eric Rudolph, Richard Jewell, like all those white guys who were, I don't know, it was weird times in the 90s.
You
man.
never see a brother blowing stuff up. You really don't. I'm putting it together.
I was talking about that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I was going to say, if we're at Augusta National and an official happens to be behind us while we're having a conversation, I'm like, hey, man, you know what? I'm a big Weird Al fan. I think Weird Al should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Sir, you're not allowed to say that here.
Well, not only are you not allowed to say it, it's not true.
Oh, it's so true.
So therefore, you should be ejected for a bad opinion.
Weird Al is he is for a fact probably the greatest musician of our time.
Let me dispel that rumor and myth.
Because he plays everyone else's music better than they do, creates more, creates better lyrics than they originally did.
You're basically saying a cover band should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Weird Al, he's more than a cover band.
No, he's a ripoff.
He's making the songs
better. He's a ripoff artist.
Oh my!
He's a terrible influence on our children.
Oh my god! He's wholesome. He's family friendly. He plays the accordion. Are there any other Rock and Roll Hall of Famers who play the accordion?
I'd have to do my research.
It's time to put
we can't
one
talk
in.
about it at the Masters.
Oh, that's what I'm asking. Are these phrases just things that can't be shouted while someone hits the ball, or is these like if you and I are? They sell beer at Augusta National. We're having a beer. We're like dilly dilly and like do cheers.
Out! Get out of here! You're out of here!
You're out of here! Augusta, what a terrible town. Have you been to Augusta?
I've never been to Augusta.
I've gone there twice recently. Not for job interviews, because I wouldn't do that.
No, he's happy here at Salem Media Group. We all are. We're very happy. Help us, please.
They do have a couple nice restaurants.
There's a new Applebee's, from what I hear.
There is.
They have those shareable appetizers.
The Buffalo Wild Wings just closed. Local chicken joint just closed.
Is that the name of it? Local chicken joint.
Yeah. So more phrases that are banned at Augusta National. Remember, this is a throwback. Can you hear me now?
Good.
Can't say that.
Well, that guy...
And it literally says, can you hear me now? Good in quote in parentheses. You can't say any of that.
You know why?
Why?
It's because Verizon is a heavy sponsor of the Masters and PGA. And now it's an AT&T thing.
It's Sprint.
That's what I said, Sprint.
That's how good the advertising is. You don't even know.
Yeah, That's
all the same nonsense.
I buy a phone from every carrier just so I can hear myself. Good. I can hear myself good, and that's all that matters.
Well, and if you're in Augusta, you're not going to be able to hear yourself because
there's no cell
reception in Augusta, Georgia.
The closest tower is 50 miles away.
One weekend a year, if there's anything to do there, it's the Masters.
My Facebook app ain't working in Waffle House.
Hey.
What's going on here? Hey, Steve. Hey.
And you can't say hashtag insert whatever word. So you can't say...
Oh, really? Now
hashtag me too.
I'm tired of typing. My thumbs are sore. I just want to be able to yell me too.
So you can't say it. You can't yell it. You can't talk about it. But I am curious. I don't know if we've figured this out yet. Are these just things that can't be yelled, or is it also you can't conversate about these?
I mean, I don't know. The mics seem really sensitive. I can hear birds talking in their backswing, so I wonder.
You know what I've heard? I'm a Masters truther on this, a CBS truther. I've heard that they pipe in those sounds.
What, birds?
The birds. Because seriously.
Or some of the Falcons piping in crowd sounds.
How serene and beautiful it is.
Right.
And the soft music.
Yeah, because all the birds are dead because they don't have trees to live in now.
Not
because they've all been cut down.
That make room for cell towers because they need cell reception.
The new Applebee's,
Can you
the
hear me
Waffle
now?
House, yep.
Wow.
Radiation. It's all coming together.
So what were we talking? Oh yeah, I'm a truther about that.
Uh-huh.
But I've heard that's true. I've also heard, it's so beautiful and green there. Mm-hmm. They spray paint the greens.
Well, of course, because anybody with a yard that wins awards uses chemicals. My yard looks like crap because I just mow it and spray it with weed stuff. But the neighbor down the street...
You're supposed to mow your yard?
That's what I hear. That's what the HOA, all the notices on our front door has said. Time and time and time again. Leave me alone. I pay my mortgage.
Goodness.
Gosh, these people in Canada.
HOAs are the worst.
They really are. They're so Nazi-like. But yeah, I mean, the guy who uses chemicals that kill animals and children, he wins awards.
Well, I'm sure Augusta National uses chemicals, but I think they're going above and beyond and literally using green spray paint to make it look as green as possible.
It's graffiti.
For TV.
So you want to?
It's all a sham. It's all a television show. It's all fake.
Yep.
Tiger's probably going to come close to winning this year, but my prediction is he doesn't win because they want even more hype for next year. It's like wrestling. It's all fake news.
Bro, why'd you have to drop that on me? WrestleMania is tomorrow night.
Oh, I saw that. It's everywhere. Everyone's talking about WrestleMania.
It is. Everybody's talking about WrestleMania, and we might just get to it here on Ye Old Dilly Dilly Topic Wheel. Let me give this one a ripperoo here. I'm feeling pretty swole today. Baba Booey, mashed potatoes.
Jimmy Carter created allergies.
Sweep the leg, kid. Hashtag free Meek. Although he probably belongs in prison. He probably did it. I mean, can we
What
just
did he
be
do?
honest? I don't know. It was probably something white-collar
parking
crimes. Let's see what we landed on here. Peach Cheerios. They're delicious. Let's spin it again. Peach Cheerios. Banned phrases at the Masters. We already covered that. Meth in a White Castle. Ooh, sounds tasty. ESPN on Ye Old Struggle Bus. Griff, this is not new news to me. This is real news.
This is real news. Not a good week for ESPN. They debuted their new morning show on ESPN with old Mike Greenberg and
From Mike and Mike?
formerly of Mike and Mike.
From Nutrisystem? I've lost 80 pounds.
That's Mike Golick. Don't get him confused.
Okay, my bad.
This is the nerdy, skinny one, Mike Greenberg.
Oh, he's annoying. He just enunciates too much.
Does he?
Yeah, and he smacks when he talks. And they
Does
have
he?
all those bobbleheads. People with a lot of bobbleheads bother me.
Oh.
It's really odd. You don't have a lot of bobbleheads.
Well,
do you?
so
Moving on. All right, here we go. ESPN is in hospice.
They
They're on their
debuted
deathbed.
this new morning show this past week. They've spent, rumor is, $15 million on salary alone for this show. They have the aforementioned Mike Greenberg hosting it, formerly of Mike and Mike. Michelle Beadle, the chick who used to be on Sports Nation, who also hosts some of their NBA stuff.
Jalen Rose.
And Jalen Rose, former NBA star.
Well, not really. He wasn't that great. He's known for being part of that Michigan team that called a timeout
right?
when they didn't have it.
Right. Back Chris
Webber.
Yeah.
Back in 90, 93.
I wasn't alive yet. I don't know.
Wait, I thought you were in your mid-30s.
Am I?
That's what you say.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, here we go. The truth is coming out.
I had to get hired, so I had to lie about my
He
age.
lied on his application.
I was still in middle school when I applied. I
I have a job?
I said I was 18. That's, never mind. That's what she said.
Hey-oh. Don't all girls look like they're 18 now? It's ridiculous.
It is hard to tell when you. I feel bad for single men.
I blame the chemicals in Augusta. I think that the
It
spray,
probably is that.
It's the chicken, the milk, and the spray paint. They're the hormones are hopping. And look, can we be honest? The breasts and the buttocks are looking very just developed way earlier than they used to.
So it's ESPN's
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm gonna
their new morning show. The ratings, terrible ratings. They built this brand new on the river seaside type studio
Right.
in New
It's
York
nice.
City. It
It's
looks
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I wish we had a studio like that to do Wind's World in.
Sure,
It'd be incredible.
We'd still shut the blinds though. I don't want outside light in.
I don't want to have a beautiful view of the river. No, that'd be terrible.
It's polluted.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Dead bodies and
so the
people
ratings
that Hillary Clinton have killed floating by. I can't deal with that.
There's what's his name in the plane that he landed on the Hudson?
Oh, Sully.
Sully. He's waving outside the window. Someone let Sully inside. It's cold out there.
I thought you were talking about the monster from Monsters Inc. You get it all here in Windsor.
We ended up in the same place. Too.
Everywhere.
The ratings are terrible for this new show.
And mine, so I can relate. I get it.
Paying ESPN, spending all this money, and no one's watching. And I don't think it's going to turn around. Like ESPN's done. They recently had that Sports Center SE6, the 6 with Jamel Hill and Michael Smith.
Jeez.
They already canned that because ratings were terrible after a few months.
Yeah.
Now this new show they're spending all this money in, no one wants it. I think what people want, the demographic now is our age, basically.
Yes.
We all grew up watching Sports Center in the morning. It was Sports Center in the morning.
Yeah.
It was a replay from like the 1 a.m. show.
Yeah.
That's all you needed. It provided all the highlights. You throw in a few analysts here and there.
No politics.
No politics.
All sports.
Not too many really hot takes.
Yeah.
It was more kind of all tongue-in-cheek humor by the anchors and the hosts and everything.
Back.
You know, you throw it to Peter Gammons. He's updating you on all the baseball moves and trades.
Yeah.
Chris Mortensen's getting you caught up on the NFL. And then you have Kenny Mayne and Chris Berman and Stuart Scott and
dream
Rich
team.
Eisen, Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann. You had all the guys there updating you just on what happened overnight.
Wait, where are the women?
They weren't working back then.
You know what?
They were on the sidelines.
They were on the sidelines being
There were some. There was Robin Roberts.
productive. Robin, yes.
Linda Cohn.
She's still there.
She's still doing it.
Yep.
You know, amazing how a woman can't seem to elevate there. Oh man, wonder what's going on over there. What they should do, just put on SportsCenter reruns. That's all people want. Why spend all this money?
Yes.
For this morning show? No, because even the morning. You said you watched it. I recorded it and watched it back.
I watched it about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I turned it back to midday judge shows.
There's no substance.
Yes,
Am I wrong?
No substance. It's all opinions and hot takes.
And they're not even that hot of takes. I mean, if you're going to do hot takes, be like Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman. Give a hot take.
Well, they did have one. They said the hot take was that the Sixers will represent the Eastern Conference. And I'm like, that's a hot take. They're not. I love the Sixers
guy, right?
I love the Sixers, but we're not gonna. We might make the Eastern Conference Finals, but we're definitely not.
And I believe they said that on like Thursday's show, right? So later in the week, I think they finally realized, our ratings are down. We better have stronger opinions than just because it was just kind of run of the mill, meh, very vanilla type of show. That was my original perception of it, and maybe they're gonna start giving some more hot takes. I think that's what they need to do.
Yeah, they need to, but not make them too hot. They need like lukewarm takes.
No one's gonna watch lukewarm.
Well,
they need to have hot takes like we do here in Wins World.
We do live in an era where everybody needs to be outraged and offended. There's no like common sense back and forth dialogue.
And no one wants that.
Yeah, nobody wants that. That's why you're listening to this show.
So it just put on
you, the one person listening to this show.
Me, us listening to it later. We're talking to ourselves right now.
And Trump Fix. I think Trump Fix listens.
That's true.
I hope.
Still?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah.
Just put on SportsCenter rerun. Save some money.
I want to see a SportsCenter rerun, like Throwback Thursday, this day 30 years ago.
Just replay like an old show.
Yeah,
and it'd be all old highlights.
I could see like Arthur Ashe winning a tennis title.
Did they have TV back then?
Larry Bird, like
Joe Montana
winning 3. Yeah, Joe Montana to Dwight Clark in the end zone, that kind of thing.
Yeah, why not?
But now it's all like, so what do you think about politics? And I'm like, I'm over it. Let's give the wheel one last rip.
All right,
and I'm hoping it lands on something
R.I.P. ESPN.
More hot than ESPN right now.
Hey now.
Peach Cheerios. Again, folks, do yourself a solid and buy a box of Peach Cheerios. WrestleMania! The best soap opera on TV coming up tomorrow night on the WWE Network. And let it be known, tomorrow, Sunday, between 11 and high noon, the Booch and yours truly will be doing our male soap opera moment as the Booch is en route to the Big Easy, Louisiana.
The Booch will be at WrestleMania.
Yes, he'll be at WrestleMania.
That's what we call a tease.
Yes.
That was a good tease. Tomorrow.
And it's going to be awesome. Sweaty dudes with baby oil on and underwear, it doesn't get much better. I mean, in my opinion. That's just me. As a married guy, I love
Are you going to watch?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch. We're actually celebrating my wife's birthday earlier in the day, but I laid down the law. I said, look, woman.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, I don't care that you were born on this day a few years ago. I don't remember how old you are. What's important is I know
she probably appreciates.
Yeah,
she's a woman.
No woman wants to be called their age.
Right.
Let's just call
Don't
her.
even celebrate my birthday.
Let's just call her 16. Again, it's the hormones and the spray. I can't tell. Is she 18? She might not be. I don't know. But as long as she doesn't tell, I won't. I don't know. You might see me on the news at the next Sting.
Goodness.
By the way, can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
And we'll get back to WrestleMania. They just had a Sting like 3 weeks ago. And they take mug shots of all the guys involved with this like underage, people Sting. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that guy totally looks like he would be a part of that. Anyway.
At Wins World Radio.
At Wins World Radio. Man, I'll tell you what. I am so excited about this. It's the best soap opera. Do yourself a favor. Go to Walmart. Buy the WWE card that you can buy. It comes for 3 months for $30. Dude, it's the best fake sports on TV ever. It really is. I love it.
Why do you have to buy the card?
Well, it's $10 a month if you go online, but you can buy 3 months at a time. For those of us without credit, you can buy it with cash. That's why I said that. Credit cards are it's the machines. I'm telling you, I'm not a fan of the machines.
You like Dave Ramsey, cash only.
Cash only.
Keep the cash in envelopes and stuff like that.
Keep it. This is my WWE envelope, and I have for the year I have $20 left. So I'm going to do this month, which is WrestleMania, and then SummerSlam later on in the summer.
Oh.
And then my wife will give me more allowance in January. But I love you, honey. Please don't lock. She changed the locks again after the last show we had when I called her out for calling me fat. She's like, "You are fat. Now sit outside and lose weight, you fat hog." And so I sat outside and I lost weight.
So you're celebrating her birthday earlier in the day.
Yeah, so we're celebrating
just so
it early.
You can watch WrestleMania.
So I said, this is what happened.
Yeah.
This is how I laid it down. Because I'm the man of the house.
Yeah.
And I said, not only are we going to keep the sheets on the bed, unlike at the Griff compound where there's this weird rule of no sheets, freaking savages, But we're getting done with your celebration by 6:30, so I have 30 minutes to use the restroom, grab some snacks, and settle in on the couch.
That's being generous, because, I mean,
oh, yeah.
You probably at least, like, if you're like me, you take an hour or so, typically.
Yeah.
So you're cutting out 30 minutes of bathroom time.
Absolutely. That's where I catch up on the news.
To celebrate her birthday.
Yeah.
She should appreciate that.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, look, we'll do the cake. We'll go to CC's. We'll do whatever you want. I'll do your hair and your nails so you don't spend any more of my money. But we need to be done by 6:30 because I need to pregame for the best soap opera on TV. So if you're listening, this is a reminder. You need to be done with our celebration by 6:30. Not 6:31, not 6:32, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time.
So CC's off Barrett?
Yeah, CC's
I'll see you there.
Of course.
Can I
right
come?
behind the daycare.
Can I
of course,
come?
man.
Right behind the daycare.
Just don't sit outside in your car again. It gets weird when you sit outside with the binoculars.
I like to go into CC's, get it to go, and sit in my car and eat it.
Can I come and get a free refill on my styrofoam cup drink? So you guys got to tune in tomorrow. We'll have all the stops and hot takes, but we never like to leave a segment.
Oh, no.
Of the old 39-pound topic wheel with the gobbler without the sage lyrical ability of one zombie, Tom Petty. Free falling.
Break.
Hey, y'all, it's Jenny Earhart from the Southern Sisters Radio Show. We love to talk about Southern culture, Southern life, everything that makes living in the South so fantastic. So join us every Saturday on AM 920 The Answer at 12 noon. Check us out online at southernsistershome.com.
Sunday, 9:20 The Answer, right here every Sunday. Wens World Radio with the gobbler and the Wens. Let's get to the topic wheel, baby. Is that your chiropractor? Are you late for an appointment?
I think so.
Okay, but we'll make this quick here. Here we go. Let's get this going on. Again, if you weren't here yesterday, Peach Cheerios, you got to try them. They are so freaking good.
I heard they're good.
Dilly Dilly banned phrase at the Masters. No, no, no. Meth made in a White Castle. Griff, have you ever eaten at White Castle before?
I do not believe I have ever had the privilege of eating at White Castle. Now, here where I live, I don't know if you live here too, but I live here. They have a place called Crystal.
Yes, they do.
Which I believe is very similar to White Castle.
It's a poor man's White Castle.
Is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you more of a White Castle guy?
It's like the London broil of miniature burgers.
Have you been to White Castle?
I've been many a time. I've visited the kingdom many a time on many a vacation.
Is it a northern thing? Is it a more northern thing?
It's a tweener thing. It's somewhere in between the Mason-Dixon and the Dixon-Mason line.
Because down here, I believe Crystal is based in like Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right.
So Crystal pretty much has a stronghold of the southeast of the United States.
Uh-huh. And you'll see a lot of White Castles in the Midwest. And there is one
where
in
real
particular,
Americans live, where they watch Roseanne.
That's right. Where they watch. And by the way, can I just say, sidebar, we'll get back to this meth story here in a moment. I freaking love the new Roseanne. It's so funny.
Wasn't it funny?
It's so good.
Did you watch this past week's episode?
No, I'm behind. Don't spoil it for me.
Oh, well.
Don't spoil it.
Roseanne says something feisty.
Oh, great. Thanks, Griff. Just won't watch it now.
She tells her children how it really is.
She's a Trumper, and I'm more toward Trump every week. I'm starting to see the light.
There were some moments like that legitimately made me LOL on Roseanne.
Yes.
It's just a good, easy, it's kind of a mindless TV. It's just nice, easy, relaxing entertainment to sit there and watch on the couch late at night.
Uh-huh.
I loved it. It was great.
Beautiful stuff.
And one of the highest rated sitcoms of all time, that first episode a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And you can catch it on demand, ABC On Demand. In no way affiliated with ABC. Or
this segment not brought to you by
subsidiary ESPN, which, by the way, if you want to hear our take on how bad ESPN is doing,
listen to yesterday's show. Go back in time.
It was good. If you could turn back time, you'd find a way to listen to Wens World Radio. So, meth in a White Castle in Indiana, in the heartland.
Now, I've eaten at Crystal, which is very similar to White Castle.
Yes.
Often when I've stopped eating at Crystal as I became basically a teenager or so.
Sure.
My stomach could no longer handle it.
It is taxing.
The food is already bad enough at these places. I'm serious. Like, I would always get a stomachache or get sick after eating there. Oh. Every single time.
Every time I eat at Golden Corral, I have diarrhea 10 minutes later. I don't know what it is. I seriously, every time.
Another place, I don't think I've been in one since I was like a teenager.
Yeah, what, Golden Corral?
Yeah.
It's so, I can't resist it though. I go every week.
Do you really?
I do. I
No,
can't
you
help
don't.
it. I do, and I know what's going to happen, and I still spend the $15 every time.
It's expensive too for not
So
great
expensive.
food.
Yeah, and the service is lackluster sometimes.
Well, it's like this. It's like that middle ground of, do they really serve me or not? Because I get my own food and There's kind of a server. There's kind of not. Do I
Yeah.
leave a tip or not?
So instead of leaving a tip, I leave one of those tracks that lead them to eternal salvation through our Lord Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sure they appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, because all you really have to do is write your landlord a letter with that track inside and say, which is better than money? Here, I just saved you from eternity of damnation.
That is a good point.
I mean,
it's
think
true
about
in
it.
the long run.
Which is better? Which do you want? A few bucks?
Bucks now or life forever?
Life forever. Just asking. They used to bug the crap out of me when I was a server and bartender. People used to leave those
Would people
Jesus
really
pamphlets.
do that?
Yeah,
Well,
man.
you also served in the heart of the Bible Belt.
The brunch crowd was the worst because they'd all come in their church and run your ass ragged for nothing, and then they'd leave this little Jesus pamphlet, and I'm like,
instead of money, or
instead
because
of
you're
money.
in addition to money, great.
In addition, I get that.
As long as you're leaving at least these days 20%.
20% is bare minimum. 15 is so 2000 late. Okay, can we just get that on the table?
I feel like I know people in my life who are older who still
yeah, the old folks
who still think 10% is standard.
Well, when they all die out, we'll be a better country. But
by the time we're old, is 30% going to be standard?
With inflation, unless Trump's making America great again, maybe 15 will be acceptable again soon.
That is true.
But
Trump and Roseanne,
they belong. What a great ticket that would be in 2020.
That'd be something.
I would vote for him immediately. I wouldn't vote for the pothead libertarian because pot is really legal anyway. You can get it and buy it and smoke it. Nobody cares anymore.
I saw something this past week how places where pot is legal, opioid.
Yeah.
I can't even see that.
I can't spell it. There's like a misplaced I somewhere.
Opioid. Opioid. I got it finally. Opioid deaths go down where pot is legal because more people feel like they can just smoke marijuana and be happy.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they have to go these other routes to get high. So yeah.
And it's good for the local restaurant. It's good for the local Golden Corral. Although, if you're a buffet, maybe you don't want to open up in Colorado or Washington.
Point, by the way, about Crystal, I always get sick when I go there.
We're 6 minutes in. We've said absolutely nothing about anything. Like ESPN. This is great.
I'm thinking meth can only improve the burgers. If White Castle burgers are as bad as Crystal burgers, and you're going to get sick anyways.
That's a good point.
So what's going on with the meth at White Castle?
I want to say that I agree with that statement. In no way do we endorse the use of illegal drugs here in Wensworld, but if you are going to do it, just don't do the one pot method, which happened in America's Heartland in a White Castle in Indiana. A guy was making methamphetamines, not in the bathroom, but in a booth. He literally had all the chemicals in a jug and was shaking them up. And this is how explosions happen. This is how people get burned. But he was arrested on the spot when an employee noticed him making meth in the booth. Now,
this wasn't an employee. This was a customer.
This is a customer.
Eating his White Castle burger.
Yeah.
It drove him. It was so terrible, it drove him to want to make meth.
Well, meth making is hungry work.
Is it?
It's a lot of shaking. It's with like one of those shake weights. It's a lot of work. If you've ever watched Breaking Bad, okay, you get the idea, right? It's not easy. It's not like growing tomatoes.
Now, hasn't White Castle always been associated more with marijuana because of those Harold and Kumar movies, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And now they've moved on. A slippery slope.
The gateway drug.
Gateway drug of Harold and Kumar.
Reefer Madness. I'm telling you.
It's Walter. That's his name, right? Walter White.
Yo, Mr. White and Jesse.
Walter and Jesse
go to White Castle
and make meth.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if I'm going to do that, I do it in the bathroom or in the room marked
just doing it out in the
only.
open.
Yeah, right in the booth.
Employees only.
Yeah, that's where I would go. That way, if an employee saw me, I'd be like, I work with you. Don't tell on me. And they'd be like, oh, okay, no problem.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
I forgot.
But yeah, so that's the story in a nutshell. I mean, what an idiot. That's my take. He's an idiot. Do it at home. Do it out in the parking lot. I don't know. Go to Walmart. That's the perfect. Half the aisles at 3 a.m. are unoccupied. So just go to the kids' shoes section. Who shops for their children's shoes at 3 a.m? Nobody. Nobody that's worth their salt. Then you go in the aisle. You can have a seat. They have little benches where you try on your shoes. There's the mirror where you can see like how the chemicals are all reacting. Sure. If is it too much smoke, like you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, it's just a bad idea. Don't make meth in public.
I think it's a very simple reason though as to why he was doing this. He was hungry.
Yeah, but usually people that do speed don't have an appetite.
That is true.
But again, the hunger of making the meth.
Maybe he was just a maker.
Right.
Maybe he wasn't on meth himself.
Yeah, he didn't get high on his own supply.
He was high on marijuana, and that is the official food of marijuana is White Castle.
Official. Brought to you by White Castle. The official restaurant.
This joint brought to you by.
Why
it's a White Castle joint.
Can I ask you? What I see? I'm on the interstate, stuck behind some idiot today, and I love you if you're listening.
You must have been on 575.
I was on 575, and it's like the Braves, the official moving company of the Braves.
Oh, that's the big
official
thing these
bread
days.
of the Atlanta bread, and I'm like, professional athletes don't eat bread.
That's true.
That's how they stay in shape. Bread makes you fat. It makes you fat and lazy, and it makes you want to make methamphetamines in fast food lobbies.
That's a good point.
I think this guy at White Castle was eating too many buns. I think the bread is maintained by chemicals sprayed in Augusta.
Are you a bread truther?
I am a bread truther. There is truth in the fact that because it's so accessible and easy and everything's made out of bread, bread pudding, sandwiches, the list goes on and on. I don't have time. It's
Toast.
exhaustive. Like toast, peanut butter and jelly. You can't have that without bread in between. What do you hold peanut butter and jelly in your hand and lick it?
Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese. You need bread to sandwich that cheese.
Bagels are bread.
Oh, yeah. Oh, onion bagel with some cream cheese.
Onion bagel. What are you,
God.
Yankee?
Oh, yeah. Put some lox on there.
I like a everything bagel with the bread pulled out to cut down on the carb loads.
Is that why you tested positive for opiates? We had those poppy seeds. By the way, what a crappy way to lose a job. You clean your life up. You're like,
I swear it was the poppy seed.
I quit heroin. I literally did. I quit doing heroin 6 months ago, but I had an everything bagel with Radio Griff and Gobblerville, and now I failed the drug test. This is awful. All because I had to have the everything bagel because Griff bought it for me. I didn't want to say no. All right, let's spin the old wheel.
If I'm going to eat bread, I like the sprouted grain Ezekiel bread. That's $30 a bag.
God, I had a discussion about Ezekiel bread with my dad.
Did you?
And it's such a ripoff. It literally, the bread costs an arm and a freaking leg.
It's about $3.99.
You got to ask for your inheritance before your parents die to afford the bread.
It expires within about 3 hours after you buy it. Seriously, we keep ours in the freezer. My wife now buys us Ezekiel bread. That's all we have in the house now is Ezekiel.
Do you guys keep it in an ark? And if you look at it, you out. Don't look!
Don't look! I enjoy it. And you know what else we eat now is sprouted grain pizza crust.
Oh, gosh. What is? Did your wife call you fat? Is that what's going on here? Is she wanting you to lose weight?
I'm not. Maybe not.
Maybe not, but all the extra heapings of the starches. No potatoes. You can't yell mashed potatoes in the Griff compound.
That's true. Not allowed to, or at the Augusta National. Apparently.
That's right. All right, let's spin this wheel. We got time for maybe one more before we get pulled off air here.
Peach Cheerios.
By the way, since you mentioned it, as the kids would say, hashtag OMG, Peach Cheerios.
That's an old hashtag.
Are delicious. As a matter of fact, I'm going to chew on some while we talk about Howard University riots. As you know, folks, Howard University, a fine, historically black college.
HBSCU?
But they had
HBCU?
Something like that.
It's really like a prestigious school.
Yeah,
it's legitimately
a
like
really
a good school.
Right, yeah. I applied. Unfortunately, I didn't meet the criterion to get in. We'll leave that there. But the administrators, is this thing on? We've been taken off air. The administrators are in some trouble, man.
Oh, yeah?
Over $1 million in tuition and grant money has been embezzled by administrators. And this story was so big, it went beyond When's World. This made the news. Real news.
The real news.
Not fake news CNN.
Real news Fox News. Hannity.
Real news.
Howard University in Washington, D.C. has been in the news after a recent scandal revealed that employees stole about $1 million from the school's financial aid. And as expected, the students were outraged and led a protest on March 29th, choosing a fitting anthem for their cause. Riri's Better Have My Money. The R&B songstress retweeted a video of the protest showing a massive group of students flooding the administrative building of the school, shouting the song's hardcore lyrics. Expressing her support, Rihanna added a flexing arm and a raising hands emoji to her caption. Pay me what you want.
I gotta tell you, this is a protest and a riot I can get behind. Because
yeah.
The universities already pimp out. I thought about this on the way in, and I thought, the whole system is flawed. Let's go back to...
Are you a university system truther?
I am. Oh, big time, big time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. We are sold this path when
because
we
you
were
went to
children.
university.
I did, and I'm still paying for it.
Any of us that go become truthers about it immediately.
You realize once you start paying off those student loans.
You get a job and you're like, I didn't need any of that.
Well, the whole thing is, it's like you have to have a degree to get the job.
Right.
But then you realize I didn't learn anything in school that I need for this job.
Right.
That's the whole thing. These administrators have stolen $1 million from these kids. And this is, like I said, man, I'm not a fan of Rihanna, but I would be yelling, better have my money.
You know what I think is impressive? The way I didn't realize all the students got together and actually sang that song.
Yeah.
At the like they were singing to the administrators about this,
Yeah.
right? A bunch of white kids could not pull that off.
No, they would be yelling John Mayer lyrics.
And it
say
wouldn't-
what you need to say.
And it wouldn't be in unison. there would be no soul to it.
No.
It would be a mess.
Yeah.
Everyone would be offbeat. It'd be terrible. So
Right.
that was impressive. And that's a pretty cool way to protest. I respect that. I think that's really cool.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Universities, it's a scam.
It's a Ponzi scheme because the whole thing starts when you're a kid. You got to get good grades in elementary school so that your patterns, move into middle school. In middle school, you got to get in these good habits so that you'll be good in high school. Then high school, you have 2 tracks, the vocational track and the college prep track. All the vocational kids end up in prison. Then the college kids get roped into this idea that this is the path everybody needs to take, right? You have to go to school. You have to get the loans. You get the loans. They're from the government. The government charge you 7, 8, sometimes 10% on these loans. They say, take out as much money as you want. You're a dumb kid. Look, go ahead. You need extra money for pot and beer? Go ahead. Take a couple extra $1,000. Then you get out of school, and 6 months after you graduate or drop out, whichever happens first, you got to start paying back these loans, but you don't have a job because nobody's hiring, because all the skills that you learn in college aren't reflected in the job description online. It's the truth.
In what skills are learned in college?
The only thing that I learned in college was about, God rest his soul, how Rhubarb used to meet all these famous musicians. I didn't learn anything. I literally everything that I use day to day here at the station, I learned on the job.
Yeah.
On the job
Same
training.
with me in my role.
It's absurd. And everybody gets sold this false bill of goods.
I did watch Skip Bayless to learn how to give hot takes.
Oh, gosh. What a hack.
Which is what I do here.
You know, that he was Ray Didinger's college roommate. And Diddy is actually a fine reporter in the city of Philadelphia. And I don't know how those two coexisted. Hashtag coexist. I don't think it's possible. I mean, Skip Bayless is such a freaking...
Oh, I love him.
No talent hack.
Oh, he's great.
He's like Colin Coward.
Oh, he's the best.
Such a hack. But these are the guys
aspired-
that are celebrated, man. You aspire to... Oh, I can't. You're so much better than that, Griff. Please don't go down that path. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, I mean, these kids are right. They're so right.
Colin Cowherd didn't go to college, or he did, actually.
He probably did. He probably went to one of these fake news schools that tells you that Trump is evil when Trump is the best thing that's happened to America since sliced bread. Oh, here I go. I'm contradicting my bread theory. See, I've been sold the bill of bread.
What's better, Trump or sliced Ezekiel bread?
Ooh, Trump. Trump. I mean, come on, man. He doesn't go bad after 3 days. That's the truth.
Some might debate that.
Well, those people are wrong. Their opinions are wrong. Okay, he's the best thing that's ever happened to this country.
Who is worth more, Ezekiel bread or Trump?
Trump.
I don't know. Have you seen his taxes?
Not according to the Democrats who say he's flat broke. Okay, Mar-a-Lago, check it out if you haven't heard.
He's cash poor. That's their favorite phrase, cash poor.
But you know what? This is like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
I believe this is the first of many of these stories that are about to drop.
Oh, I think there's all kinds of college corruption going on. Yeah.
This is the beginning. Mark my words. Future in the next year, we're going to see at least 10 more universities get called out for misuse of funds. And again, these kids are just trying to prepare themselves for the future, and they're being taken advantage of.
It's also escalated to a point where something has to give. That bubble has to burst because the costs are getting so high.
Yeah, man.
People can't afford it. Then it creates this whole cycle. Then eventually you can't ever afford to buy a home because you're still paying off college, and you're 35, 40 years old.
Yep.
And you're still renting or your mom's basement. Or something. So, I mean, yeah, it's a cycle. Something has to give. And hopefully Trump and Roseanne can fix it.
2020, Trump and Roseanne. It's going to happen.
At least it'd be entertaining.
It would be.
Like, you got to give Trump
the most entertaining
it's so
presidency
entertaining.
ever.
I don't ever remember following a presidency day to day like I do now.
Yes. It's fun.
And he, I think, views his presidency as a TV show somewhat. And he's putting on this display for America. And to me, I find it entertaining.
And meanwhile, America's winning. We're winning the ratings war, the job war. Everything's coming back to America.
North Korea and South Korea are going to be friends again.
Yeah. What other president has done that?
None yet.
Yeah.
So
he's laying down the law.
Meanwhile, it's fun.
Best president since Ronald Reagan.
Make America fun again.
He's making America fun, great.
Let's make it even funner in 2020 with Roseanne.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Roseanne and Trump, and then of course the Dems will put up.
Oh, that would make their
and
minds
Hillary.
explode.
The Dems will make a mistake by putting 2 women on the card.
They'll do Michelle Obama and Oprah, or Michelle Obama and the Indian.
You can't have
Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, Pocahontas? Yeah, can we be honest? They will not win with 2 African-American candidates. You're not going to win. You need at least one white person.
Their lead, to get serious.
I'm being serious.
I know.
You can't win.
The top of the ticket should probably be an African-American for them.
It couldn't hurt.
It most likely should be an African-American. It doesn't matter.
Can I just say, I'm on the record, I am a huge Michelle Obama fan. I think her ideals are great. The way they implement them.
I do think she's genuine.
Yes, I think she genuinely cares about
that's
children.
Something I think people. I think people, at least at one point in time, could respect on both sides. Is when a president or a human being is acting on their own convictions. That it's not just all baloney.
Yeah.
George W. Bush,
which we don't allow in schools anymore. No more
is that not
baloney
allowed?
on the food trays.
I only went to private school, so I didn't know that.
You can't yell it at sporting events in high schools either. You can't yell baloney.
Goodness. See, at private school we eat Ezekiel bread. But George W. Bush, I believe he always acted on his own convictions. I don't believe he was putting on a show.
No, he's part of the Luciferian movement. I'm telling you, man, he's part of the skulls. Meeting out in California.
I don't think he's really in on it. I think he might be a pawn used by them, but I think he's too genuine.
Oh no, he's part of the big banks. He's tied in. That's why the Bush daughters wrote a book, because they got to pay the banks back. The banks their blood will be had. Listen later on in the show
to Larry
WACHS. We talk about this, and he puts it all together. You got to check it out.
I'll be sure to stay tuned in.
But that's all the time we have. Don't buy Ezekiel bread. It's a ripoff. I mean, come on. Why would you spend that much money on bread? It's killing you anyway.
You pay me so well here in Winsboro. I have extra money flowing out of my pockets. I may as well spend it on Ezekiel bread.
It's all Federal Reserve. It's all debt. None of it's real money. You realize all the cash is just debt, right?
Is that true?
It's true. None of it's real money. It's not backed by anything. There's nothing at Fort Knox. It's all debt. China owns us, man. I'm telling you. We never like to leave Wayne's World with the Gobbler from Gobblerville without the sage lyrical ability of one zombie, Tom Petty.
Don't do me like that.
Wayne's World continues right after I finish this last set of squats.
Jeez, look at the butt on that. Yeah, he must work out.
Hey, y'all, it's Jenny Earhart from the Southern Sisters Radio Show. Have you checked out our website, SouthernSistersHome.com? We have the most gorgeous array of gourmet flour sack towels. They will look fabulous in your kitchen, and they're complete with all sorts of Southern sayings, designs. Go to our website and check us out, SouthernSistersHome.com, and guess what? We have a promo going on right now. 30% off your order. Just put in promo code SISTERS at checkout. Also, free shipping on all U.S. orders.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Hey, KLRN radio family, this is Jenny Earhart. Check out the Southern Sisters radio show every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on KLRN. Connect with me on Facebook at Southern Sisters Home with Jenny Earhart. You can also catch our Facebook Live videos, unedited and uncensored. Connect with me personally. Email me at radio@southernsistershome.com.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. Oh, yeah, we are one tank tripping it, and we have Chris Madrid back with us from World War II Heritage Days. You can connect with them online, wwiidays.org. Chris, what's going on, man? It's so good to have you back from last week.
Oh, Joey, thanks so much for the good word you put out for us. We're actually nearly in the final stretch of preparing for World War II Heritage Days, April 21st and 22nd. So looking forward to sharing some of the details about the event with your listeners.
Absolutely. And you know what? I got a little bit of feedback from our chat last weekend in When's World during our One Tech Trip segment. And a gentleman asked me via email, he said, how could something that happened so long ago really impact us today? And I know, Chris, you have a definitive answer for that gentleman.
Well, what's interesting is World War II, once again, was the defining event of the 20th century. Every aspect of life as we know it today, the geopolitical landscape, the technology that we use, the economy and how women in all groups participate in the workforce, that all really sprang forth from World War II. So I think there's some great lessons that need to be remembered and passed on.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what's going to be going on next weekend down in Peachtree City. So putting on something like this, it sounds like a lot of work, a lot of logistics, and a lot of people. How do you guys do all that?
Well, first of all, it's a labor of love, but the Commemorative Air Force is a 100% volunteer organization. So our volunteers come together to make this happen. But more importantly, we work with other organizations to produce the event. At last count, we had over 500 people from throughout the community who are coming together for World War II Heritage Days.
Tell folks why they should take a weekend and honor this portion of history.
I think the first thing to do is to share about the Commemorative Air Force. The Dixie Wing is the Georgia chapter of the Commemorative Air Force, which is the largest World War II flying museum in the world. We are a 100% volunteer organization. We all have some sort of connection to aviation or history, but I think at the end of the day, we're a patriotic organization, and we believe for us to be effective, we just need to pass the word.
You know, it's so interesting. You guys are the largest World War II flying museum in the world. That is unbelievable, and it's so uncanny that not many people are aware of this diamond in the rough.
You know, it's really interesting. The organization is 60 years old. It was founded in 1957, even before I was born, by some former military pilots and trainers. And they just thought it was important to preserve aviation military history. And over the years, there are 87 chapters across the United States and even a few overseas. It's interesting. There are people who feel compelled to preserve this part of not just American history, but world history.
World War II Heritage Days, April 21st and 22nd, next Saturday and Sunday. Just about 2 hours south of Atlanta. It's a beautiful trip. The weather's going to be nice. It's heating up. We're finally into spring, thank the good Lord. And this is something that folks are not going to want to miss, April 21st and 22nd. Now, one of the favorite parts that I saw on the website, wwiidays.org, is the battle reenactment, man. I mean, how many times have we turned on war movies and we're sitting there captivated and enthralled for 2 hours? But this is an event where you can actually stand very close to people reenacting the actual battle scenes between the Allies and the Axis of power.
It really is interesting. Everybody that's involved in the event is in their own way a historian, and they try to find a way to make it very personal. So some of these people, men and women both, actually, they'll collect and recreate the impression of somebody who was alive in the 1940s, and that often includes the military, of course. So you have Americans and British and reenactors who portray Germans, and we'll prepare and deliver a very carefully orchestrated and scripted battle reenactment, like a Civil War battle you'd see up in Gettysburg, but this one, of course, is 20th century.
And one of the other amazing things about this celebration are the possibility that you get to ride in one of these vintage aircrafts. Chris, tell us a little bit about this experience.
Well, riding in the airplane is one way the public can get involved in helping preserve American history. 100% of the proceeds from a ride, which could be in a P-51 Mustang or an LT-6 Mosquito, 100% of those proceeds go back into preserving the airplane. And
so this weekend is going to be full of awesome activities, but there's something for everybody, even our better halves, the misses in our life. They love to cut a rug, and women love to dance. And you guys are putting on a hanger dance on the 21st, right?
We do have a hanger dance on Saturday the 21st, and since you and I last spoke last week, the dance sold out. So we're going to have unbelievable, right? We sold out much sooner than we expected, but it is a night where we try to recreate the 1940s. A lot of Glenn Miller music. We have a 21-piece jazz band that's going to be playing a lot of the standards that our grandparents would have recognized. But it really is the music at the time is it's iconic. It can't be matched, and we're looking forward to reproducing that era.
Absolutely. A little Artie Shaw in the mix, too, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Artie Shaw, Glenn Miller, the Dorsey Brothers. It's an amazing lineup.
Man, that's such good stuff. Again, folks, wwiidays.org is where you can connect with this fine organization. The 15th Annual World War II Heritage Day is coming up April 21st and 22nd next weekend, about 2 hours south of the ATL in Peachtree City, Georgia. So much to do, something for everybody. What can kids kind of relate to and take out of this experience?
Well, one thing that's going to happen is we have over 150 reenactors coming from throughout the Southeast, and they're going to, for at least a week, and they're going to build an Army camp. You're going to have over 25 military vehicles. We're going to have nearly 25 historic airplanes close to the camp. So for at least a few minutes, you can walk into 1944 and see what it looked like to be a GI at an airbase. So if you're looking for a real-life history lesson, not a textbook experience, come to World War II Heritage Days.
The website where everything is spelled out, laid out in plain English, wwiidays.org. Chris Madrid, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. We look forward to seeing you down there next weekend, man. It's going to be a blast.
I appreciate it. Look forward to it.
Right. Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Hey, KLRN radio family, this is Jenny Earhart. Check out the Southern Sisters radio show every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on KLRN. Connect with me on Facebook at Southern Sisters Home with Jenny Earhart. You can also catch our Facebook Live videos, unedited and uncensored. Connect with me personally. Email me at radio@southernsistershome.com.